Not too long ago, we took a look at a free remake of Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. This was Castlevania Chronicles Simon's Quest for the PC, and I thought the game was really awesome. There's a lot of quality of life improvements, changes to the game. It was a really sweet one to play through, and I think a lot of you guys out there enjoyed it as well, looking at the comments on that video. And I also saw a lot of people putting out recommendations for other ROM hacks and fan games, so that was really cool. Hey, I mean, it's nice to have more Castlevania. Castlevania is a classic series of games that a lot of people love. And if Konami's not going to be making games for it, hey, the fans got to pick up the slack. So definitely more Castlevania is a good thing, in my opinion. I mean, we do have the Dead Cells DLC coming out pretty soon, so that's going to be sweet. But as far as like standalone Castlevania games, where the heck are they at? So like I said, the fans are picking up the slack. And today we're going to take a quick look at a brand new fan game, Maria Renard's Revenge. And I thought this was really interesting. So I wanted to check this out for one main reason. Not just because it's Castlevania related, but because it's for the Amiga. And I haven't really covered Amiga stuff on my channel much over the years, other than like the A500 Mini, and that was about it. So it was like, cool, man. A Castlevania game for the Amiga? Let's do this. So I'm going to put a link down below if you want to check this game out. You can download it for free, or you can name a price to give the developer, a few bucks if you so choose. That's your choice. Not pushing you one way or the other, just letting you know how it works here. You can download it for free if you so choose. And there are several different file types that are available. There's an LHA, an ISO, a A500 Mini, setup to play on that mini console. And then there is a standalone Windows setup that goes through, I believe, just like an Amiga emulator type of thing that's just ready to go. You'll use, like on your keyboard to play the game, you'll use your direction pad and then the X and C button for jump and attack. So the game can be played on the Amiga 1200, the Amiga CD32, or the A500 Mini. I don't think any of these files will work on the Analog Pocket, and I'm not sure if they can be converted to the files that, the file format that works with that. But like I said, you can play it on anything else or play it on your PC. The actual gameplay here. So you're playing as Maria Renard, and she's a vampire huntress, and she is a distant relative of the Belmont clan, right? And in this game, you got to fight a bunch of different monsters, and you're going through several levels. One downside to this game is that it's only 4 stages. It is very short. If you're good and you get accustomed to how the game plays and how things attack, you could possibly get through this game in about 10 to 15 minutes if you just breeze through it type of thing. There's a bit of challenge here, though. So, hey, I'm not complaining. It was a free game. But yeah, after the first stage, there's a little bit of a challenge. So you're running through as Maria Renard, and she has like her birds that she throws or shoots to attack enemies. And as you progress, you will find like the enemies start getting more crazy. They're flying at you. Things are coming out of the ground. So it definitely gets quite a bit more challenging after the first stage. First stage is kind of easy. Now, the one thing I noticed with this game is sometimes the enemies will, like bats or like bird type things, they'll get like stuck on barriers that are invisible. I don't know what's up with that, or maybe a platform. And then if you're not careful, you try to like, get them to come to you, and they won't because they're stuck. The second like you kind of pass a certain threshold, they'll just automatically hit you. And that sucks because in this game, you only have a few hearts to play through the entire game. Like I said, it's short, so once you figure it out, you should be okay. But if you get hit by an enemy here, you lose a heart. And if you haven't got to a checkpoint yet, you start the whole stage over again. That kind of sucks. There are some enemies, I noticed that they'll like shoot projectiles and it'll like knock you back instead of taking a heart away or killing you. But then once you get hit again, you'll lose that heart. So most enemies here, though, if you get hit or if you touch any kind of hazard, it's just you lost a life. So I kind of don't like the way that works. Like there's no health bar or anything. It's just boom, you get hit, you die. You get to a checkpoint. Hopefully, if you do die, you get to a checkpoint where there's like a heart right in front of it, because there's quite a few hearts I noticed through the game. Now, once you get a heart, you know, boom, if you lose that life, just get the heart again type of thing, and you're fine. But yeah, now those are the only lives you got. There are no continues. There's no password system, nothing like that. So you got to beat this game in one shot. It really 10 to 15 minutes. Once you get the hang of it, you'll blast through it. But there's that, you know, there's just so many areas in the later stages. Like the first stage was easy. Second stage starts getting a little more challenging. And then the third stage, you know, it's kind of a challenge as well. I played through the entire thing. And I think I struggled at first on like the second and third stage because things just kind of change up with the enemies coming at you. And it gets a little frustrating, but you know, it's kind of one of those things where it's trial and error. You'll figure it out over time playing it and see how the enemies behave or where they're coming from, type of thing. But the one thing too that I didn't really like was that the bosses are just too damn easy. Like you could just juggle them with your bird attack, and a lot of times there'll be a power up that you get right before a boss, and you could just juggle them without them ever even getting an attack off on you. So you'll just juggle them, kill them, move on to the next stage. So if this game like winds up getting updated, I would definitely like to see a few things changed. It's okay the way it is. Hey, just some minor criticism, but you know, would like the bosses to be a little bit more difficult. Maybe some of those invisible barriers that wind up blocking some of the enemies to be fixed, and the game to be made a little longer. That would be cool. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. I'm just throwing out some of my observations here. And then the one power-up that I absolutely dislike is the cat power-up. And it's kind of hard to avoid in some areas. Like you'll grab the cat and now you have a cat attack. Like you drop the cats and they run off, right? You just drop them, they hit the ground and run off, and anything in front of you gets hit. But the thing with those is that they suck because now you cannot kneel down and you cannot, well, I mean, you can, but it's difficult to hit like a bat or something that flies at you. Any of the flying creatures, if they fly at you and you have the cat, you're as good as dead. You have to time it perfectly to jump up and drop the cat on the enemy before it hits you. Otherwise, you're dead. You're starting to level over, or you're going back to the checkpoint. So yeah, just some minor tweaks, but you know what? Overall, it was a cool experience. I'm glad the Castlevania fans are out there keeping this franchise alive. So check it out. Link down below. Let me know what you guys think. Bye.